So Barack Obama is being paid, get this, 400,000 American dollars to
535,000 Australian dollars.
You've done the conversion.
I have.
Oh, impressive.
I did it in my head.
Oh wow!
That's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
To deliver a speech at a healthcare conference which has been organised by Wall Street, as I understand it. Sash, we spoke a couple of weeks ago about envy, inequality. What's your take on this?
No take at all.
No take?
Yeah, you pay me any sort of money to stand there and talk to anybody.
You do it.
You do it. And not only that, someone in his position, his predecessors, have been privy to this sort of treatment for years and years and years. Bill Clinton had gone on the speaking circuit, not so much George W. Bush. I don't think anyone would go and listen to that guy. But regardless of that...
Yeah, that's interesting, actually. I don't think he would ever get paid that sort of money.
But I think in this situation, Obama... with all the facts coming out about how he helped the big banks in 2008 with that massive fallout that they had, for someone who actually believed in the narrative at the time, it doesn't shock me, but it's sort of
disappointing.
It is a little bit disappointing. That little bit of faith I had in the human condition is slowly eroding. But anyway,
you actually had faith in the human condition.
It's gone. It's gone. It's like a dot.
Slow
erosion. Like a dot. Yeah, it's like
there must be a little bit there.
Yeah, it's a dust.
It's definitely
dust
gone
particle.
now.
I'm flabbergasted.
But regardless, I think he's the type of guy that he's a great politician. You know why? Because he makes me feel that way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he actually makes me question whether he's a bad guy or not. And he's that good, and he's worth every bit of the $65 million he's being paid for his memoirs. Him and his wife, actually, because that's a double story. And you know what? They deserve it. I think...
but they don't... It's not like they need the...
Shitting
no,
me?
they do. You know what? If someone's going to pay you 65, no, here's the thing. You know what? They deserve it.
They deserve it.
Yeah, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
All right.
You know what?
Go for
Mr.
it.
White Man, okay, let me tell you this, all right? Okay?
There's no need to get like that.
When you... Keep it together. God, hold it, guys. No, but let me tell you something. When you have come from... the position he came from, right? Okay.
Yeah. He's been president already.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Someone wants $535,000 Australian dollars to speak to a bunch of Wall Street people.
I don't care. You pay me any... I'll give my story up for 10 grand. You take that. You can do whatever you want with it. That's right.
10
this
grand's a lot of
guy's
money.
$65 million. Are you kidding me? $400,000, $200,000 pension.
Okay.
That does not mean he deserves it.
He does. I'll tell you why. Because he was in... Mate, that guy was in a rattle pit, man. I'm telling you, snake pit. Snake pit. Rattle pit. It could be a
rattlesnake pit. Rattlesnake pit. Yeah. No, look, they're very interesting questions about what he really stands for, because you remember during the campaign, Hillary got into quite a bit of trouble about her speaking fees on the Wall Street circuit. Now, obviously, he's not running for president anymore. He can't. But it does really raise an interesting question. And I've read a lot of material coming out of the US, which basically is suggesting that, is this somehow... I mean, they're not really suggesting it's sort of payback for the soft sort of approach that he took on Wall Street, but there's a little bit of an element of that.
He just got into power at that stage too, What else? He was given a massive shit sandwich. What was he going to do?
That's such bullshit.
What was he going to do? Was he going to let petty differences come between, saving a lot of people's, I don't know, their livelihoods at the time?
Bro,
I don't know.
Do you know?
Right, let him talk.
Do you know?
Please tell me.
That he didn't prosecute a single individual that was involved in the GFC, right? At the start of his tenure, Obama had majority. Like, he could have pushed through various things, which he declined to do. And ever since then, I mean, really, I'm kind of... I know what you mean about his charisma and charm, and everybody fell for it.
He's such a good bullshit artist.
He's a great bullshit. Of course, I'm paying that. Yeah. I'm not paying it $65 million.
If you can get it.
I don't know how much that is in Australian dollars.
You didn't do that calculation.
Oh, yeah, that would
be...
yeah, come on, you know.
Yeah, it's going to be, 82.
It's quite a lot of money.
But he's got a pretty bad record, and he has pulled the wool over people's eyes.
Yeah, big time.
Endlessly.
Including me.
It's true. It's true. It's true. He, in fact, former editor of the Washington Post said he is the most aggressive president against journalists since Nixon.
Yeah.
Figures bear that out.
Yeah.
You've got, last year he dropped 26,171 bombs in the middle, around the world. Most of those in Syria and Iraq. He had his Tuesday kill list.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's good.
All of this stuff, which is... pretty nasty sounding.
Yeah.
And I think that
People will always love him, mate.
I know.
At the end of the day.
I know, because
will
they're
always-
blinded by the idea that
Look at him.
he's a black, he's
Look
a
at the
good-looking black
man.
guy, right?
Look at him.
Look, I think
It's not right.
it's
not objective.
It's not. You're right. And I think,
you're
but I think this whole discussion about him getting this money on the speaking tour, getting 65 million for the memoirs, really, I think, highlights the deep divisions within the Democrat Party because obviously, something like a quarter of the white working class voters who supported Obama turned to Trump.
Went straight to Trump.
Straight to Trump.
Yeah.
And a lot of the discussion there about why that occurred is because people are seeing his party, the Democrats, as a party of ruling elites, and this sort of conduct, basically confirms that.
Status quo.
It is, and
just confirms it.
Between you and me, I'm calling it right here. I reckon that the Obamas would love to set up their own dynasty. The minute Michelle Obama says, "I'm not running for president in 2020," the minute I think, maybe you're planning to.
You reckon she might?
I reckon she definitely might, man.
Well, she'd bloody get their nomination. They were so supportive of her
She
during
would,
the campaign.
She would. I think he's really brought home what a farce, the US governance had turned into.
I don't think she'd get back in though. Considering
She doesn't
Hillary
want to
didn't get in.
No, I agree. I think that's
It's
what
the same dynamic.
That's what might stymie. I'm totally with you. Though, let's see what happens, in a couple of years. But look at what happened underneath, just specifically on the race thing. Obama had military armed police forces rolling through major cities, crushing black uprisings, cops openly shooting black people.
There is
in
a
the
real
streets.
gap between the PR spin and the reality.
Fucking oath there is,
Yeah.
because he does those, comedians in cars things and Jerry Seinfeld and the mic drop.
They love the guy,
He
man.
raps with the guy
He's a
from Hamilton, the
celebrity.
most
Yeah.
racist musical ever. Yeah. And
He's a symbol of hope, man. You can't take that away from people.
you can if you actually put their record up
Yeah,
and
but
let
you
people
still
have a look
won't.
at
And
it.
considering what Trump is doing and the way he treats people, Barack Obama will always be seen as the people's
You know
president.
who else used to be a symbol of hope? Malcolm Turnbull.
Well, that's true. And on
really.
that note, could you ever imagine any of our former prime ministers ever being paid this sort of money? No. 65 million for Malcolm's memoirs, you reckon?
Yeah.
I reckon Bob Carr would consider himself worth it.
Yeah, but whether or not he'd actually get it is a different question. But it's just a
probably
whole
not.
other different market there, isn't
I'd
it?
flick him a 20.